Hey everyone, welcome back to the Solar Paddle Collective, or welcome to the Solar Paddle Collective, where we rise through shared light. I'm Ryan, great having you here and your energy here today. So this morning, kind of just wanted to go over like what was happening on the weekend. Lots of interesting energy. There was a lot of rain on Friday, some rain on Saturday and everything, but the the atmosphere has been like so energetically charged. And then today it felt like it felt like this weekend was a lot of high vibration, like a lot of energy, and it almost caused like it almost felt like that anxiety energy where it's just like really vibrating, but it felt like, for me, it felt like my whole body. And then today, it just felt whoosh. It just felt like all that energy released. Last night, the atmosphere today felt like it feels very welcoming. It feels amazing. And unfortunately, like I don't have any of my crystals or anything on me today. But even without the crystals, it feels like it's going to be a really good day. It feels like it's going to be a really good day. It feels like something's happening, like that is going to be really good today. So, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. It just does. I've been having. It's been so for more of this weekend. I actually saw a medium. Met a medium that I didn't know she was a medium the first time I met her. So there's a place where that I found that has crystals and everything. So the crystals, sage, like it's like a one-stop shop. It's awesome. I actually bought some tarot cards from there because they resonated with me. But it's where I've been buying a majority of the bigger crystals and stuff that we have in our house now. And the other day, my partner and I were in there, and we're browsing, we're grabbing some crystals and stuff that resonate with us and everything. And the owner all of a sudden starts talking to us and comments about, yeah, you have a daughter who has long blonde hair, and she's having issues, mainly with her stomach. And she's right. And we divulged zero information. We try to keep the girls off of social media and everything, just because the internet is extremely unsafe, especially for younger kids. And so like we don't want to ever give the chance of like a predator getting information and then using it to their advantage. So we in our home, we try to keep the kids off of social media, like keep their pictures, information, all that stuff. We are starting to allow more pictures, but pictures without information. So just wanted to touch on that. So she had zero knowledge that she might have known that I had kids. I might have said that I had like 2 girls at the first time that I went there, but never divulged like hair length, color, anything like that. And obviously, brown hair. My partner, dark brown hair. So for her to guess that my oldest has blonde hair was kind of surreal. And then yeah, she's talking that she has like stomach issues. And so we started divulging that, and then they got to a conversation where or this is the next interaction. I'll get to that in a second. So my partner and I, like, we get really excited because she's telling us things like she is connecting, the medium is connecting dots that she would there's no way that she knows the information to, kind of a thing. And so we brought my daughter, my oldest, there on Saturday. And I will tell you what, like, I have been a skeptic for spiritual religion, things like that, for a majority of my life. Like, I remember when I was younger looking at tarot readings, looking at psychic mediums, things like that, and like thinking to myself, that is a load of crap. It's a load of crap. I I was one of the biggest skeptics. Like, sleight of hand, like what if they're reading what if they're reading the body language of the person, things like that. And like growing up, I grew up where there was a lot of finding out the truth about like mediums and readings and things like that, where like people are they have people working the crowd and stuff like that, and finding out information beforehand and everything like that. So there was a lot of dissonance when it comes to like psychics and mediums and everything, because they were saying that like anything that they do is not true. And some of it was absolutely fake. Absolutely fake. But they are the reason that they're fake, and the reason why it is so detrimental to the spiritual community that is happening now, or that is kind of awakening and happening more often, was because of those fakes. It caused so much harm to the view of tarot readings and psychics and mediums, witches, things like that, because there's always that stigma. Because there were the Salem witch trials, there were witch hunts and everything, so people are scared of those abilities, because everybody opening themselves up like that, it could lead to another like cleansing, which that would be absolutely horrible. So I think one of the reasons why the mass awakenings and everything are happening now is because human society is at a stage of acceptance, like a much bigger stage of acceptance. There's more people that have an open mind to things that they don't understand, compared to me growing up and earlier, where it was very much, no, you're crazy, like that's insane, you should be put in a sane asylum, a mental ward, things like that. So yeah, majority of my life I grew up very skeptic, because that was the information that was being fed to my brain. Like I couldn't avoid it. There it's just skepticism all over the place. So it made me a very big skeptic. So when I tell you the experience that I felt Saturday was an even bigger eye-opener than the spiritual awakening that I have been having this year. I kid you not. It was surreal. It was absolutely surreal. She was like connecting, so she started talking to my daughter and everything, and they were like having connections, like she's picking out things. When the medium would say something that my daughter like had been thinking about, she realized it, and it was just the coolest experience. She got to pick out a Lemurian crystal this was the coolest thing. So the medium was helping her pick out like crystals and stuff that she needed, that her guides were telling the medium that she needed to help her with like her anxiety, with her stress, and all that stuff. And it was so cool. And it was telling her, like, with your crystals you need to clean the crystals like with sage and everything, but she's the one that has to clean it. She can't, you shouldn't have anybody else touch your crystals, because then their energy is with the crystal, so you'd have to clean it. And my daughter picked out a small little Lemurian crystal just like a tiny little one, like maybe that thick and that long. And she was excited about it. And then the medium, this was the coolest thing. The medium went back. She's like, hold on, I got something for you. So she went back and she grabbed a bag of big Lemurian crystals. I think it was Lemurian. Like, I think it was Lemuria. Yeah, Lemurian crystals. But like the clear ones with the striations, that like it's supposed, like the striations are supposed to contain like the history of Lemuria, and like when you rub it, you're supposed to be able to like download that history. But she went back and she grabbed this big bag of bigger crystals, and they were like that thick, that long. They were big crystals, and she put down like an array of like seven crystals. And she asked my daughter, okay, take your time, look at these crystals, like do what you need to do, and pick out the one that resonates with you, or pick out the one that stands out the most to you. And my daughter, like, she was looking at the crystals and everything, and she picked one up and she was feeling it. And like, my partner and I are standing up, we're watching this and everything, and I'm thinking in my head, that's not the one she's gonna pick. She's gonna pick the second one from the right. So like, if I was the medium, she's gonna pick the second one from the right. And that's what I was thinking. And she was still holding on to that one crystal that she had that was at the end. And the medium was like, so do you, like, does that feel like the crystal for you? And my daughter was like, no. She put it down and she grabbed the second one from the right. And she put it in her hand. And I could see the medium, like, she was subtly shaking her head, because she knew that was the one that she was going to pick too. And my daughter was like, yeah, like, this one feels good. So the medium showed her using the two Lemurian crystals, like how to get energy in and out, using the crystals, how to get energy to flow through your body, like one in one hand pointing a certain way, one in one hand pointing out. Like, so your left hand is your receiving hand for energy when you're using a crystal, is what the medium was saying. So you put the Lemurian crystal in your palm with it pointing towards you. And then you put the other crystal in your other palm with it pointing away from you. And then you meditate with that. And that's supposed to help bring energy in, bring good positive energy in, and let the negative energy go out. And it was the coolest thing. It was so cool to see that. And then she started talking to my partner, and was telling her about some very deep things that happened in my partner's life. I don't want to divulge too much information about it because that's very personal. But it was insane. Like, it was a very emotional moment. It was incredibly emotional. And it gave my partner very much some validation. And also, I think it gave her some ability to let at least some of it go. So that was cool. And then I was also talking to the medium about like the synchronicities that I've been having, the spiritual awakening that I've been having, like now that I can see rainbow aura on everything, or I call it prismatic aura, kaleidoscope aura. Which, side note, one of the tarot decks that I got from this place is a prism tarot deck. So like when I saw it and it resonated with me, so I grabbed it. So I will be doing tarot readings soon. I can't obviously do it at work, but I will be doing like collective tarot readings soon. So it will be a fun stumbling through. But yeah, I was talking to this medium about the synchronicities and everything that I've been having, the spiritual awakening that I've been having. And I asked her before we were about to leave, like, hey, I got a question for you. Like, I've been getting a lot of synchronicities because I've been watching, like, tarot readings and everything on YouTube. But I've been getting a lot of synchronicities that I'm tied to Ra. And she's like, that you're tied to Ra. And she thought for a second. She's like, I want you to do something for me. So we actually went back, and she has a reading room. So I'm going to be going back to this medium because I feel that she is the person that is supposed to be teaching me. And I've been seeing some readings, some synchronicities, like that somebody was going to be coming into my life, like as a teacher, somebody that would be like a partnership maybe. And like, so honestly, I feel like she's that teacher. So, but she took me back. She grabbed the Egyptian tarot reading deck. She shuffled it, and then she had me tap on it 3 times, and then she was having me shuffle and pulling out 3 cards. So I did. And it pulled out, I think it was like the Warrior or the Hunter card. God, I can't remember the other 2. But it was very much like you could see the Hunter, you could see a bird of prey and everything. You could see the Warrior spirit card kind of a thing. And then there was another one that was about like abundance. And then there was one about healing, like ritual healing, and it had like a green triangle in the middle, and it was in a black stone, but it was also on a triangle. So the 2 triangles kind of formed the Merkaba or Merkaba. I don't know how to say it, but like the 2 triangles, one pointing up, one pointing down, kind of together to kind of form the star. And then there was another one that very much had 2 pharaoh-looking people in the background, kind of looking this way, like at each other, and there was somebody in the middle, and it felt very much like there was a lady in the middle, had the sun headdress and everything, which very much gave me the, like, I can't think of the word. It gave the impression. There we go. Very much gave me the impression of Ra, because like the sun headdress, and then the 2 pharaohs next to each other. One very much had the feeling of Thoth, and so like it was the 2 pharaohs, the woman in the middle with the sun headdress, and then she pulled out a card which had the Eye of Horus and the Eye of Ra, and it actually had on the card about Ra and Isis. And that floored me. That just floored me. So, yeah, it's been a crazy, and that was an amazing spiritual experience. That was amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be going back there. I'm going to be picking her brain. She might be my mentor. She might be my teacher into like understanding more of my abilities and tarot reading and all that stuff. So yeah, like, don't, honestly, if I didn't trust myself, if I didn't trust in myself, that if I didn't trust in my spiritual journey, we never would have gone to the Crystal Cave, which is what it's called, which is where all the crystals are. We would have never gone there. And if we would have never gone there, we wouldn't have the crystals that we have. We would have never, like my oldest daughter would have never experienced that. she wouldn't have the crystals that she has now to kind of help with her anxiety and everything, with her dreams. And honestly, like, I would have never had that confirmation reading, because that's very much a confirmation, because I've been seeing so many synergies that I am tied to Ra in some way that it is insane. It's insane. And I know, excuse me, and I know it's like, oh, well, YouTube, once you start watching too much of the same thing, the algorithm just feeds you the same stuff. I understand that. I understand that probably a lot better than most people. I keep what I watch very random. Like I said, especially with intuition readings and tarot and things like that, I choose what resonates with me. I don't pick the same people. They can obviously be the same people doing the readings, but I don't intentionally do it. Like, I actually do it at random. I close my eyes, I have my mouse over the, like, where it would be first be for like the recommended video, and I close my eyes and I hit F5 until it feels like I should stop and click. So I do. And that's literally how I do it. Majority of the time. The other times is I'll kind of do that. I'll close my eyes and ask a question or anything, hit F5, and then when it stops, then I mouse over like each video until one that kind of resonates with me, and then I click that. So it's not, it can definitely be the same person doing the tarots, because the algorithm's going to feed you their stuff more. Like, the more you watch their stuff, it's going to feed you more of their stuff. But also at the same time, like, I'm clicking on random people and getting relatively the same readings. So I'm using my intuition and realizing that I am connected to Ra in some way. I don't know if I am Ra reborn. I don't know if I am just like a vessel for his will, his power to come through into this reality. I don't know. But I am not afraid of it. I very much accept it. It's intimidating. It is overwhelming. It's surreal. But I don't fear it. Because it doesn't feel frightening. And that's the first time in my life I've actually been able to say that. It doesn't feel frightening. Like, the energy I feel doesn't feel frightening. It feels welcoming. It feels warm. So, it's never too late. I'm 41. It's never too late for a spiritual awakening. And all it takes is curiosity. And it does not matter if it scares you. It doesn't matter if you are uncertain by it, if you don't know it, even if you don't believe it. If you keep an open mind, the universe will talk to you. And it doesn't matter if you never believe it. It doesn't matter if you're like, oh, this is an intuition, this is just luck. Or, I'm just blessed, or whatever. The universe is still going to do it, whether you're participating consciously with it or not. The universe is going to do it. Like I said, I was a huge skeptic the majority of my life. But I know now there was a purpose to that. There was a purpose to me being a skeptic. Because if I wasn't so much a skeptic early on in my life, and I would have came into all this earlier, there would have been a much bigger stigmatism around it. And I might not be where I am today. Like, I might have like mental health issues, like bigger mental health issues, because I came into my abilities and then I was shunned so much that I'm trying to stop it and I suppress it and I give myself schizophrenia or something, you know? Like, that's the thing, like with mental health disorders, sometimes it's because an ability is being suppressed so much, but that ability needs to come out because that ability is part of you, that it causes rifts or shifts or breaks in your mental perception. Like, people have schizophrenia, if there's a potential that if they were caught at a younger age, they would have been highly psychic. Because think about it. I'm hearing auditory hallucinations. I'm hearing voices. If I were to go to a doctor and say, hey, I'm hearing voices, they would think you're crazy. So sometimes don't trust modern medicine. I'm not saying don't ever trust modern medicine. I'm just saying that don't always run to a doctor when you don't understand what's going on with you, because it's not always pharmacological. It's not always something that you're going to need medicine for. Sometimes you just need to process it. Sometimes you need to alchemize it. Sometimes you need to sit with yourself and turn the negativity into positive. Sometimes you just have to go through it, and it sucks. But rushing to a medical diagnosis gives you the potential of causing a lot more issues in your life. So, I mean, I'm not saying don't ever trust doctors. I'm not saying that. Doctors have their purpose. Okay. I'm saying trust your intuition before you try to seek like a medical diagnosis, or before you try to fit your diagnosis in a box, fit what's happening to you in a box, because sometimes you're not going to fit in a box. Sometimes a doctor's not going to be able to help you, and they're going to want to try to help you. But they don't understand because they're on the outside looking in and you're expressing things. And so they're trying to medically figure out, how can I make that stop? But like auditory hallucinations, what if that's not the issue? What if that isn't an issue? What if that is because you are so psychically tuned that you're just hearing the other beings from other realities? And not having somebody to help you grow that ability and make it so you can control it? Yeah, I can understand how that would cause issues. I can understand how somebody would just all of a sudden, like, they would feel crazy because, hey, they're having a conversation with this person and this person and this person. Like, I get that. But we shouldn't immediately think that that person is mentally unstable or that person has schizophrenia. We should be thinking more naturally, less logically. And that's also kind of what we're finding, is that like the more natural we think about something, because even hospitals, because it used to be very much like you'd go in, you'd get a diagnosis, you'd get medication, boom, 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 they'd kick you out. Now hospitals are doing more holistically. Like they want you to do these other steps, these holistic steps, before you get to like pharmacological, because they are understanding not everything requires a pill, and a pill is not going to fix everything. So it's just trust yourself. Trust that nature is going to give you some ability to heal. not heal everything. It's going to give you some ability to heal. And that doesn't mean like it's going to heal a wound. That doesn't mean that it's going to heal a scar. Like it's going to heal trauma. It's going to give you the energy that you can use to alchemize and heal yourself. It's going to give you that energy. You just have to be ready to accept it. And in modern day life, that's incredibly hard to do. It's incredibly hard to get back to nature because you're always moving, you're always running, you're always moving. And that's the point that the dark side has been hitting. Like that's essentially how their train functions. Is we got to keep them going. We got to keep them busy. We got to keep them disconnected from each other and from nature, because the moment we say, hold up, and everybody and more people start connecting with nature and with their abilities and with energy, then that's less people that are sitting there disconnected. And that has been a slow thing going on until more recently. And then we starting to get more mass awakenings, because more like, it's like, if you think of the movie Ready Player One, where you see like the numbers from IOI, if you've seen the movie, where it's towards the end and you're seeing like swaths of avatars get killed, and you see like the at the IOI center, you just see like all these white circles where everybody's on, like just turn red, and it's like doing groups and stuff. That's what it looks like in my head with mass awakenings. Excuse me. And it is very much tied to our politics. Like Trump does something and all of a sudden it's just like all these people are like, that doesn't make sense. And then he does something else and it's that doesn't make sense. And that's what it feels like. It's like it's hitting swaths. It's hitting large groups of people, and it's mass awakening like that. And then it's also exponentially, because now that those people that are awakening and starting their journey, they have connections to other people. That energy resonates to other people, which then causes them to awaken. And like that's the whole thing. You reach a critical mass where all of a sudden it's just like, and then everybody awakens, because everybody is tied to everybody. We're all tied to each other. And once enough people awaken, it's like that in consciousness, it's like a flip, like a switch flips, and boom, now everybody's awakened. So that's kind of what has been going on. So I'm excited for the rest of this year. When I started this year, I was very much not excited for 2025. I was not excited for the future because of everything geopolitically that has been happening and things that you're seeing across the world that are happening, not just politics, but the destruction, the chaos, the pain, and the harm. It's hard when that is the only thing being fed into your brain. It's hard to not get lost in it. But trust that good things are happening and things will be turning around. So yeah. I know I'm supposed to do this like towards the beginning of the video, but this is a timeless reading. You're supposed to, when this energy resonates with you is when you're going to watch this video. If you find yourself coming back more and more, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon. That way you know when I'm posting more things, and also when I go live, because I'm going to start doing that. I just got to figure out how. So yeah, I mean, also comment if you're having experiences and you're having spiritual awakenings and synchronicities and everything, comment and let me know, because yeah, that's what this is all about. But thank you so very much, and I hope this video helps you have a better day, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.